Okay, welcome again to the Success Partners International Team Zoom. And we're going to start this like we do every one with a signature message. And the person who was to do our signature message, I do not see that she has joined us. So I'm going to call on someone.
I'm here.
Mary.
I'm here.
I'm here. Okay, there you are, Brenda. There you are.
Hey, Brenda is in the house. Go
Yay.
Cards.
Woohoo!
Oh, I'm frozen. I have no clue. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, it looks like I'm frozen. Oh, I'm unfrozen. All right. I love this signature message. I remember being there when it first came out, I don't know how many years ago, at that summer blast. And we all know it and internalize it. I am part of a growing team of entrepreneurs with a shared mission to protect and empower 2 million families and small businesses with PPL-SI's network of law firms and world-class identity theft services. What we do matters, and we are looking for help. Back to you, Annette.
Thank you so much, Brenda. And like Brenda said, that's something that we need to practice and memorize so that when it's appropriate, we too can use it. And Mr. Drennan just said that was something that we instituted back in 2014, and it has been a great signature message for us. So the first part of our Zoom tonight is we are going to go to our book review coordinator and learn about what our book review is going to be. So Jane Lehman, you're on.
Thank you so much, Annette. Tonight, well, I should say last week we got to hear from Mike Bishop. He was our speaker and he also wrote a book. He is an author. And tonight we're going to hear from John Drennan, who is going to be talking about the 10 core philosophies. John.
Thanks so much, Jane. And yeah, most of you were on last week to hear Mike Bishop, but maybe he's not as well known to each of you as he has been to me and others. I've gotten to know Mike over the years, and obviously he's a very accomplished individual. So is his wife, so is his family. So it was great to have him on. And I received a copy of his book, a month or so ago, The 10 Core Philosophies. And you can see it's kind of a booklet. It's about 50 pages. And as I went through it in one day, it reminded me of Lynn Schuster Williams' book, which is about 115 pages, but smaller pages. And I want to make a point here. You can get great value from small books from unknown authors, unknown to the world, not unknown to us, but because Mike has traveled the journey. And, you know, as I'm reading it, I'm thinking about first of all, the reminders and affirmations of things I already have been exposed to that I'm getting from Mike. And also understanding it's coming through the perspective of somebody who's had great success within Legal Shield and PPL-SI. And so I really enjoyed reading it. So I want to dive right in. First of all, here are the 10 core philosophies that he speaks about. Number 1, I am responsible. Number 2, I have a positive attitude. Number 3, I commit to simply daily disciplines. Is this sounding familiar to everyone? Number 4, what was number 4? I harness the power of habits. Number 5, I use the power of intention. Number 6, I show up. Got one of the 3 legs of the stool there. Number 7, I focus on progress. Number 8, I contribute. Number 9, I accept abundance. So those 9 are things that we frequently talk about. And of course, you can't manufacture antiques. And my point is, Mike's talking about all the same classic information that we know. Core philosophy number 10 in Mike's book is you fill it out. What is your number 10 core philosophy? So I want to just point out some highlights here. First of all, in the chapter on I have a positive attitude, he gave an idea I haven't heard before exactly like this. And here it is. When you find yourself with a negative thought or you're dwelling on something negative, flip it. And I love that mindset of flip it, because we can easily picture that. And he says, flip it and just do the exercise of saying the complete opposite. So if you're saying to yourself, "Oh, I just feel tired and lazy," flip it. What's the opposite of that? And we all know it'd be something like, "I feel energized, I feel motivated." So that's in chapter 2. Chapter 4, under I Harness the Power of Habits, he actually gives 6 steps. And I think these are great. Number 1, decide. Number 2, do not allow exceptions. Number 3, tell others about your new practice. Let people know what your new practice is. Number 4, visualize your new habit. Number 5, create an affirmation in support of the new habit. Number 6 is reward yourself along the way. And again, these aren't new concepts, but it's so great to get them reaffirmed in a really simple and easy to understand book. Okay, next, he starts out a paragraph in the next chapter. I love this. Instead of material positions, let's consider being in service to others. So instead of the focus on material things, make the focus service to others. And he gives 4 steps in the power of intention, which is this 4th chapter. Number 1, take time and write down 5 things you'd like to have in your life. That brings intention to those things. Number 2, decide which of the 5 is most exciting and could be achieved in 30 days. What a great place to start. Number 3, set a plan based on the words that you apply to that. And number 4 is write an I am statement as if it's already happened. And we all know the value of visualizing something's already happened. So writing that I am statement, for example, I am an executive director, if that is the intention. Okay, next in chapter number, actually, I'm going to move toward the end here. Bear with me, I've got more here than I need. Okay, in chapter 9, I believe it is, winning happens when we stretch ourselves and get outside of our comfort zone. Is that familiar? Winning happens when we stretch ourselves and get out of our comfort zone. And then that last core philosophy, number 10, is one that he has us fill in. So I would challenge each of you, the first 9 you're familiar with. What would be a core philosophy you would add? One that would be really important to you. And I think it's really important you put that in because we're all different. So we all have the things that are most meaningful to us. So I just commend Mike that he wrote this, and he went out of his comfort zone to do this, and kudos to him. And I appreciate having this opportunity to share about his book. With that, Jane, let me go back to you.
Wow, John, for such a small book, that's power packed. I love it. As you were talking and you said that number 10, what came to me was commitment. And earlier today, I read something from someone that questioned, is your commitment at the level of a kamikaze pilot on his 39th mission? And it took me a minute. It took me a minute, but I busted out laughing and I thought, oh, wow, got to remember that one. So I'm glad I did. That would be for me, my 10th one. And no, it would not be like a kamikaze pilot. So next week, we're going to hear from Carol Escher, and the book will be The One Thing by Gary Keller. Back to you, Annette.
Thank you so much. It's interesting, that whole topic is, I think the universe is talking to me because I hear all of these things through our Legal Shield team here. I've been hearing them through my church. I'm part of a networking group of women, and there's 3 of the women in there that are writing books that are all about this. So, and they have nothing to do with Legal Shield. So this is just all about success, the things that we need to follow. So next on our agenda, Steve, Linda, and I are trying to figure out who to invite as a guest speaker, and Mr. Jennings suggested, well, why don't you call Tony Petrill? Here's his phone number. So, and an email address. So it's like, oh my gosh. So I called, left a message, emailed, and guess what? He got back to me and said, yes. So that was so exciting. So some of you are maybe newer, or maybe you're just not real familiar with him. So He joined Legal Shield back in 1998. He is a $250,000 ring earner, a Millionaire Club member. He's a former VP of Sales for PPLSI. He has personally sold over 7,000 memberships. His team has sold over 100,000 memberships. He's created a residual six-figure income from home, and he must be doing something right because he's been married to his wife, Tanya, for over 20 years and has two kids, two sons, 16 and 6. He has time to play pickleball. And his favorite quote is, "Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do," by John Wooden. And I have a feeling that that may play into what his topic is tonight, which is attitude and activity. So, Mr. Petrill, the Zoom is yours.
All right, all right, all right. Hello. I see so many great familiar faces. Hi, Janae. Yay. Oh, boy. And John Drennan and I met. John, I want to show you this. I wish you were in this picture, but it's a picture of me. That's Chuck Wagner. That's me in the white shirt. Corey Clark, Ron Chambers, right? We were all so skinny back then. Isn't that amazing? With hair on the top of our heads. Look at Ronnie. Look at Ron Chambers with that hair. So, I mean, we've known each other since our hair was dark, John. And back in the day, I didn't have any kids, and your kids were my kids' age. You probably had a 6-year-old, right? When we started. And now I'm 56. I always tell people, if you're brave, have a baby at 50. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm the only 56-year-old T-ball coach, John. But it's great. It's absolutely great. The journey has been amazing. I see Timmer Halligan, another ring earner, executive director Danny Godin, and all the team. I mean, John Bradley, we've known each other for 2 decades now. You know, Ted Wilson, I mean, the list goes on and on. All you guys are family now. Brenda, Bridget, I was thinking, of course, Jane, I was thinking about Timmer. My sister lives out in Palm Desert, and there's some tennis thing going on. So she had to escort some guy named Rafael Nadal to the court. She said it's amazing to walk by these guys. When they're done playing, they're just like dripping sweat and beat tired. I said, well, yeah, but it's been fun for her. She volunteers a lot. And that was one of the, I don't know if it's her church that did it or she does a lot of volunteer work out there now that she's retired. She's in Northern Michigan in the summer and then out in Palm Desert in the winter. So let me, Tony Petrill. I live in North Carolina, Charlotte, outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. My background is various things, but right before Legal Shield, I was a product specialist, speaking at the auto shows and traveling into car dealerships doing trainings. So that was a total public speaker job that I had. Before that, I was with Northwestern Mutual Life selling life insurance. So I had to find leads myself, ask for referrals, cold call. So, I mean, if you were to take cold call and public speaking and put them together, not a bad scenario for me to be trained to come into Legal Shield. My dad was a police officer for 25 years. I'm come from 10 kids. And he said, you should be an attorney, because he just knew all the attorneys had the big house. And he said, but you know who really has the big houses and they don't seem to work much? The insurance agents. So if you were to, he said, one of those two, if you were to take an insurance agent, attorney and mix them, that's me. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I'm almost an attorney. I sell them and I get paid like an insurance agent, right? And that's all of us. So it's kind of funny. And of course, I have 10 brothers and sisters. Not one of them have the membership. Not one of them are associates with me. But somehow 7,000 other people said yes. And when you want to sell 7,000 memberships, guess what you need to do? I only about 1/3 of the room signs up when I ask someone to buy, about 1 out of every 3 appointments, and says yes, which means I had to have 14,000 people say no to my face. So you want 7,000 sales, get 14,000 people to say no. Actually, just talk to 21,000 people and you'll get 7,000 to say yes, right? Which means our teams talk to 300,000 people and 100,000 people have said yes. So the numbers are the numbers are the numbers, right? All right, well, let me go ahead. Do I have share screen up? I'm gonna hit the button. Can I do that? share.
Yep.
How's it look? Good.
Perfect.
All right, Success Partners International, Legal Shield family. I'll go through a few things to this, you know, and I heard a long time ago, John Drennan and I had this conversation about how he told his children, I see greatness in you, because Les Brown told that to us at various conferences we've been to. And I brought it into my kids, and I can tell you, I can see it in you guys. I saw your faces, you know, as we sit here, and if no one's ever told you, yeah, they haven't seen greatness in you. I do. I see it in you. So the key for us all is to let it out, to let the greatness out, right? And it can happen overnight. But with Legal Shield, you know, I'm going to talk about attitude and activity, and to talk about, you know, the why is something that's really important in Legal Shield. And really, I guess when I say what's your why, a lot of people don't know what that means. So I just say, what do you want? And what do you think a lot of people say? I want to get out of debt. I want money. I want to retire early. You know what I mean? Then I say, what do you really want? You know? And they say, well, I want to make $1 million. And I said, why is that important to you? And she said, this was an associate on her team. And she said, because I want to be able to not worry about money. And I said, why is that important? And she said, because I want to be able to do what I want. I said, why is that important? She goes, because I want to be able to be there for my kids and walk them to the bus stop in the morning. And I said, why is that important? And she goes, because my mom never could. And she started crying. And I go, there we are. It started from $1 million to, I want to be able to walk my kids to the bus stop. So you ask them time, money, freedom, but when you break it down 99 times out of 100, your why, other people's why is always going to be less stress and more time with loved ones. I'm telling you, I've been doing it for 20 some years, and less stress. And, you know, if anyone says, no, I just want money to take care of my bills. Oh, you mean you want to not worry about bills? Yes, that's less stress. Because when I was in Legal Shield and I started out, John, I knew just how much money I had. You know, we had $87.42. You know, I knew just how much money we have. I don't know now. You know, Tanya's got crypto, we got gold and silver, we got, you know what I mean? There's a Schwab account, we got a retirement plan, SEP, you know, all this stuff. Real estate, we got 20 acres out about an hour away. All this stuff we have going on. But John, back in the day, man, I knew I had $400 and that was it, you know, for the rest of the month. So less stress and more time with loved ones is a big thing. Here, look at this. This is a few years back. Preston had braces, Noah had no hair. Now here we are. So this is a few years later. You know, Preston now, he looks young there. He's 16. He's driving. Preston and I just got back from, and Noah came with us. Tanya's in Michigan. She's moving her dad back right now. He was living 10 minutes away, and now he was kind of sharing time, but he's just going to stay in Michigan. And Preston, we went to Lee University is in Tennessee. It's a Christian university in Tennessee, and they had a presentation night tonight in Charlotte. So we were there. So he's a sophomore, and Tanya and I have been married 22 years, I guess. And Noah is the 6-year-old in our house. He turned 7 in a month. And here's my why. Less stress, to be able to provide for them, to be the priest, prophet, protector in our household, and king, and having money and putting a financial wall of security around us is a big part of that. It really is, you know. So how do you get that? Less stress. Let's go back a couple. Less stress, more time with loved ones. Make more money. My gosh, what a novel idea. Mr. Stonecipher broke through for me. He said, I'm reading this thing in Parade magazine I got with the newspaper, and here's this financial guru, Susie Orman or whatever, and she says, you got to stop spending money, stop the vacation, stop the shoes, stop the cars, stop the dinner out and all this. And he goes, gosh, I'm reading this from a financial guru. And he goes, nowhere in this article does it say make more money. And I was like, that's my man, Mr. Stonecipher. So I just decided I'm going to make more money. And we doubled our income that next year. Totally changed things for us. And so how do we do that? How do we make more money? Well, 2 things you got to do is have a good attitude and good activity. That's what we're going to break it down to. Don't you wish you could just talk to someone and tell them about Legal Shield? Like you could come up to them and do like the Spock mind meld with them, just kind of like shove my fingers up their nose, you know what I mean? Just and then they kind of go or just to be able to touch them on the arm and go boom, and they go, I get it, Legal Shield. worry less, live more, earn a living, make a difference, make a living. You know what I mean? Also, I get it. I'm blessing people. Get your will done. Identity theft. I get it. Well, it's really tough to do. And I can't come up and just stick my fingers up people's face. But I wish I could, just because when you're passionate about Legal Shield, it changes everything. So let's go with a couple philosophies / attitudes. If you haven't seen this cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, take a look at it real quick. The right side of the quadrant is where you want to be. Over on the right is business owner and investor. And when I say right, and not only the right side, it's the correct side. It has a double meaning of right. If you're an employee, get the best rate you can get. If you're self-employed, if it is to be, it's up to me. If you're a dentist, you better have your hand in someone's mouth or you ain't making any money. So when you get sick, you ain't making money. But if you have extra dentists on your office, you have a practice, now you've got a business, now you've got a team, and the system works for you. And then investor, that's all the stuff I kind of mentioned, real estate and investments, different things where the money is working for you. Get in the right quadrant, okay? Here's the moral of the story with the cash flow quadrant. Ready? This is it. Every positive thing you do in Legal Shield automatically puts you on the right side of the quadrant. No matter how dumb, intelligent, ADD, class clown like me, doesn't matter. Any positive thing you do automatically shoves you into the right side of the quadrant, because that's how Legal Shield's set up. You build just memberships, you're going to have the I quadrant. Renewals are coming in. If you're going to do memberships and a team, you've got the B and the I going because you have a system working for you. Man, it doesn't get much better than that. Automatically. Here's a few advantages of Legal Shield. Well, we have no territory restrictions. Just think about this. No sales quotas, no continuing education, no underwriting. There's simple products to learn. It's a simple training program. It's not like I have to go to New York City and learn about metallurgy or pharmaceutical, you know what I mean? A heart catheter thing. No, there's online trainings, there's classroom trainings, there's field trainings. And you don't worry about all these. Like, I want to give me a copy of that. Don't worry about it. Just listen to what I'm saying. There's car bonuses and trip incentives. It's an emerging market with very little competition. They can't buy legal plans at the grocery store. You're helping people with the service. If you like to help people, welcome aboard. You make your own schedule. It's unlimited income potential. The average commission is 30%. I know you're in real estate and you get 3%, but here it's 30. It's your book of business, which means the renewals keep coming in and you get a 20-year residual income coming in after you market a membership. They keep it for 20 years. You're going to get it paid for 20 years. So I keep that last because that's my big, right? If someone's going to kind of talk about that, my attitude and activity. But let me go over one last thing with attitude. Okay, treat it like a job. Okay, let's just say that you took a part-time job at a pharmacy like CVS. You just wanted to work a grocery at the counter. Okay, and while you're at the counter, they say you have to come when we have a company training. You have to go to the company training. When we have company Zoom, you got to get on the company Zoom. Okay, right? Training and Zoom. And you have to be here at this time and you have to work and then you have to leave at this time, right? So imagine, because people are like, treat it like a business. No, treat it like a job. Because if you don't show up 3 days in a row, what's going to happen? You're gone. Maybe 2 days in a row, maybe 1 day of not being there. Or you say, I don't want to do the training. I'm not getting on the Zoom. Just imagine if everyone on your team with Legal Shield treated it like a job. Now, I'm only talking about working at CVS 5-10 hours a week, like Legal Shield. But when you work it, you have to be at CVS. When you do Legal Shield, you have to be there. Treat it like a job. And then activity is show me the numbers. The numbers are the numbers, are the numbers, are the numbers, are the numbers. It'll get you dizzy, but show me the numbers. It doesn't really matter. So the numbers never lie. So here's your philosophies. Here's your attitude with numbers. Try and get 100 no's. Now, here's the deal. What if you did it in the next 30 days? There's no rule that says you can't talk to 100 people. There's no rule that says you can't talk to 100 people in the next 30 days, in the next 7 days. There's no rule that says that. You know, right? Mr. Bell won't call you and say, well, I understand you talked to 100 people about taking a look at a 2-minute video. You know, we're going to have to slow you down. That's not the case. But if you got 100 people to say no, what's going to happen? Some are going to say yes. So 21,000 people, right? I talked to, a third said yes. That's 7,000. And you got a no. And this is my no training. Ready? Okay. If you don't know no, then you don't know. And if you don't know no, then that's a no-no. Because you got to know no. If you don't know no, then you ain't going to get a yes. And you'll embrace a no, because if you don't embrace a no, that's a no-no. And then you know no. There we are. So that's the no-no training. I do not. Someone said, how do you handle that? You go into a company and you reach out to these people, you meet someone at Starbucks, you got them on a Zoom, all this stuff, and 2/3 of everyone says no to you, to your face. 9 of your brothers and sisters, none of them have the membership. How does that work? I'm like, what do you do when they say no to you? And I'm like, dude, I'm already bullet point from all the personal development I did. And my philosophy of no, my philosophy of 10-3-1, my philosophy of I'm one step closer. That's it. Once you're ingrained in these few bullet points, John Drennan and Jim Harkema taught me you need 30 people that you prospect. 10 will say, let me take a look, and 1 will come on board. It's kind of a 10-3-1 deal. So 10 people, it's actually 10-3-1. So it was 30 people, 10 will take a look, really 1 comes on board, right? And maybe 3 come on board, but 1 will really stick. And the numbers are the numbers, and then people will come on the Legal Shield and they're like, well, I got a few brothers and sisters. They all said no. I showed this to, 6 people and none of them bought it yet. They said, get back with me. So it's either time to quit or you're one step closer. If the numbers are the numbers, and I know that 1/3 of everyone that I talk to is going to say, that sounds good, I want that. Then all I need to do is say, okay, 3 out of 9 are going to say yes to me. And maybe it's 3 out of 12. Maybe I only get 25%, right? That say yes to me. Then if I get 4 people to say no, I'm 1 closer to the yes. It's not time to quit. It's time to keep going. I'm 1 closer, 1 step closer to the yes. That philosophy has got to be ingrained in you and your team. So that's just a few easy ways to look at the numbers, because they never lie. Back in the day, this, and there's several different versions of this, but we're coming into baseball season. I know it's March Madness, but when you come on board as an associate, let's say that you're not new, but you want to go to the next level. And I think that's all of us. We want to go to the next level. No one's better at breaking down your list of names than John Drennan, in my opinion. He's done multiple trainings with me over the last 20 years on how to work your list of names and update it. So once you got your list of names, you then head to first base by to pique their interest with an approach. Maybe you're asking them a question. You know anyone that wants to make more money this year than last year? And they say, yeah, so-and-so, or yeah, me. Great. Then I'm going to get them get them in a prospect by Legal Shield. I'm going to have them look at a third-party tool. Then I'm going to go to the 3-way call on second base. Remember, 3-way call on second base. And we're going to get them to a live event, hopefully. Now, this is probably going to be a Zoom or an opportunity meeting or a PBR at someone's home, a 2-on-1, a luncheon. But then when they come on board, now we got them doing their list of names. And then they're going to start piquing people's interest by approaching them. And pretty soon everyone's running around the bases without you. But as soon as you try and go from home to third without going through a 3-way call and they're getting on a Zoom, then they're going to say, well, I'm not doing a 3-way call. You didn't do one with me. And you're like, crap, I went from first to third. Yeah, you did. And no one's running around the bases without you. You were running around with them. It's easier to run with 100 people than it is to drag 1 dead person. So I've heard. I've never done it. But I can't imagine, right? So that's a pretty simple way to take a look at it. And then another philosophy thing, and we'll get into activity now too. Here's your goals, right? Can you believe we're almost done with the first quarter? So we're moving into the second quarter now. So January, February, March, done. And we're already, right? Not done. We can still get a lot done here in March. But in reality, man, we are now loading up for the second quarter. We're closing out the first quarter. This year is going by fast. So tonight might be a great time for you to say, hey, I had January 1st goals, but I need to revisit them right now. So here's what I need you to know about goals. There's so many different ways to do it, but I just keep it down to 3 things. 1, they need to be written. 2, specific, and 3, with a deadline. So January 1st hits and you say, I want to lose weight. And I say, where did you write that down? And everyone goes, I didn't. How much you want to lose? 10 pounds. I'm like, you ain't gonna lose no weight. You didn't even know it was 10 pounds. Why is it 10 pounds? Is that a nice round number? Why not 12? By what date? And they're like, I don't know, March what? You ain't losing no weight. Dude, if you said 6 pounds by February 12th, now you got something. You know what I mean? Now you're a little specific with a deadline. So it needs to be written where you can see it. I know that y'all look in the mirror, so you might as well stick it on the mirror. Written specific with a deadline. I'll give you an example. There's so many different ways how to invite people to events and take a look. One way to invite them is to say, can you help me and take a look at this for me? I'm about to sink my teeth into this legal shield. Been around they're in the 50th anniversary. I'm really going to sink my teeth into this. Can you help me out and just take a look at this video? See if you see anything that I don't. Or you give them a reason. Hey, I think I found a way for us to go on an all expense paid trip. Check out this 2-minute video for me. Hey, I think I found a way for us to blank. Fund the mission at church. Retire early. Fund our kids' education. Retire your mom or dad, right? All this different stuff, whatever it is, you give them a reason. Can you get on this 2-minute video real quick and get on a Zoom with me, right? I want you to talk to my business partner. We know each other, but I want you to also hear from someone else. So can you help me? 2, I got a reason here. I think I found a way for us to blank. And 3, promote a speaker or an event. Hey, I want you to hear this. This is our VP, or this is someone who's in a millionaire club. This is someone who's working part-time but making a full-time income with our company. So you're promoting the speaker or the event. That's an easy 3 ways to invite people to take a look. But you want to say this much to this many, this much to this many. So a lot of people say this much to only a few people. That's reverse, flip it. You're going to talk to a whole bunch of people and only say this much. Do you know anyone? Can you help me? Hey, I thought of you. I think I got a reason. I think I got a way for us to blank. You're only going to say a few things to pique their interest, but you're going to say it to a whole bunch of people, because most people just say way too much, only to a few people. And they keep going back to the same people. Cut it out. Revise your list and start asking people just to take a look. So do me a favor, write down a number, grab a pen if you can, and write down the number. Ready? You're going to cross this number out in a minute, so it doesn't matter. You're not going to hold it up to anyone, so it's just you. How many people did you invite to take a look at Legal Shield last week? That's it. How many people? Give me a number. 0 is a number, right? So write down 0, write down 6, whatever it was. Write down 1, right? Now cross it out. As soon as I say cross it out, people are like, oh, well, now I'll put a number down. Right, 2, 3, whatever it is, 0, 0, 0. Great. Cross it out. Now put in the number you're going to ask this week. And if you had 1, let's try 2. And if you had 0, let's try 1. And if you had 6, how about 8? How about 10? Let's go nuts, right? How about 2? And now, since it has to be written specific and with a deadline, here's what you're going to do. I, state your name, will invite blank people to the weekly event by noon on Monday. It's written, it's specific, and it has a deadline. Some of you should say by 10 p.m. tonight, and you should get on the phone. I will, write it down. I, write your name down, will invite blank people, and this is your number, 6, 1, 3, 5. I will invite blank people to the weekly event, whether it's a luncheon, a sit down, a Zoom. How about this? Just to look at the 2-minute video on Prospect, or one of the videos on Prospect. I will invite X amount of people to look at Legal Shield by noon on Monday. Not that they're looking by noon on Monday, that you've invited that number of people by noon on Monday. I don't know when they're going to watch it, right? They might be booked in the next 24 hours. They might not be able to look at it until Thursday. That's cool in the gang. I don't have a problem with that. But by Monday, you need to start asking them, right? And then when Monday at noon hits, you write down a new one. I'm going to invite 3 people by Wednesday at 9 p.m., by Tuesday at 5 p.m., whatever it is. Just give yourself a deadline. I will invite 3 people to the weekly event or to take a look by noon on Monday, right? John, team, if there's one thing that will change your business, it's this slide right here. Because the odds are most of us wrote down 0. And that's okay. because you crossed out that number. Just put in a new number and do it, or you're fired from CBS. Fire yourself from Legal Shield because you didn't do the one flipping thing you just promised yourself to do. Invite 2 people to take a look, not even if they do it. They might be crazy busy this week, but at least you invited them and they say, call me back in April. Okay, great. But I invited the 3 people by noon. That's it. This one thing right here can probably change so many of you people, so many of your team for the better. Let's see. And whenever someone takes a look, I always ask, what did you like best? That's it. And then I ask them, do you see an opportunity to join us in business? When they say yes, I say, welcome aboard. What did you like best? They say the money. I say, me too. Do you see an opportunity to join us in business? Yes, welcome aboard. No, what else do you want to see? Can I get you on the phone with my mentor? Right? Do you see an opportunity to join us in business? Yes, welcome aboard. Our goal is to help you make $500 in your first 30 days. How does that sound? No one has heard this before. Almost no one has heard this before. Their boss hasn't said, hey, I want to really help you make $500 extra this month. No one's boss came in and said that to them. No one's boss said, hey, I'm hoping to get you a promotion this month. No one's boss says that to them. Hey, I'm hoping you can go right past me. No one's boss says that, but we do. We're like, dude, I want you to be ED. I want you to fly through this thing. Our goal is to help you make $500 in your first 30 days. How does that sound? Every time I'm at a briefing or a Zoom or whatever, they go, sounds damn good. That's what it sounds like. I know. I know it sounds good because $500, that's a good amount of money in your first 30 days. We can do that. We can do that, but we just got to go around the bases. We're going to start with your list and start piquing interest with an approach to them and let them take a look at the tools. So get them, it's funny, it's the last few things in terms of activity. If you can get them to start calling right then, and I don't know if that website's still good or not, I wouldn't even do it, but I don't even know, it's an old slide. But after the Zoom, and they say yes, let's start calling right then. Let's start calling right then. Let's have them start looking at the 2-minute video that you saw right now. Well, I'm not even an associate. I don't even have prospects by legal. I don't care. Let's get people to take a look. Or else let's get your website up and running and have people start taking a look at your website. Why are we going to go slow? Why not just have them start inviting right now? Hey, I just got off a Zoom, dude. Guess what? I'm retiring early. Now, what does that mean? Instead of 40 years, 38 years, instead of, 35 years, 30 years? I don't know, but I'm retiring early because I'm going to the right side of the quadrant. You've ever heard of the cash flow quadrant? Right? And they make a list, you get them on the baseball diamond, running the bases, and then eventually a fast start class. Pretty simple stuff. Let's see. I'm going to wrap it up with this. So we've gone over activity, we've gone over attitude. And the 2 biggest things I guess I would say with attitude are, 1, treat it like a job or fire yourself and then rehire yourself, right? 1 under attitude is treat it like a job. 2 under attitude is that you're 1 step closer when you're doing the numbers. It's not time to quit. You're 1 step closer. Those are the 2 things. On activity, you're only asking them to take a look, but it needs to be written specific with a deadline. Okay? Those few things can change your business for the better. And as soon as you get a few people on your team doing it, it duplicates and it takes off without you. So how do you want your story to read? Right? Some people might have their story read this. I had the greatest answer to identity theft, but I never told anyone about it. I had a great business where that pays residual income and has all these 2 lists on this screen, and I wanted Tony to go back. Yeah, but I squandered it. I really didn't ask anyone in the last month to take a look. Or I didn't write the number down when he told me to write a number down and cross it out. You know what I mean? How do you want your story to read? I had fun getting on a Zoom. I waved to everyone, but I don't do crap. Okay. All right. Welcome to the team. We love you. Right? But at some point, you're going to be like, I don't know if I'm going to keep getting on these Zooms. I mean, it's the same guy, same thing. Right. Why not make money? When we love each other, might as well make money. How is anyone going to be mad at you for helping them get their will done? right? How's anyone going to be mad at you for you just checking to see if they want to make extra income in their household to reduce stress and spend more time with loved ones? How can anyone be mad at you for that? How can anyone be mad at you for helping someone seek wise counsel and be the leader in their household without Googling answers, but actually talking to an attorney? How can anyone be mad at you for showing them an identity theft, right? ID Shield that does so many things that the other ones out there don't do. How can anyone be mad at you? So if no one can really be mad at you for that, what in the world, how do you want your story to read? You know what I mean? Basically, I told everyone. I couldn't save them all, but I told everyone because I see greatness in you guys. Just got to let it out. And you can do it. I know you can do it. All right, I will turn it back to you, Annette. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope this was good. I'm happy to stick around, of course. Anything else you need from me, let me know.
Thank you so much. It was absolutely awesome. Just really good. I took like 4 pages of notes.
Good.
And the next time I start feeling unsupportive, I'm going to remember those siblings of yours and your 7,000 members and the 14,000 no's. And so how do we want our story to read? I think that's really great. So this has been recorded, so we can all go back and watch this again and take some more notes and implement it. That's the important part, not just show up for meetings, but actually do the work, track what we're doing, because if we don't track it, we can't answer some of these questions. So thank you very, very much. Some announcements. Let's see here, where did I put the announcements? Okay, be sure to go to successpartnerscalendar.com. Alice Engelhardt does an awesome job putting all of our team information there. You can see the morning stretch call. It's a great way to start off your day. Our team Zoom presentations for opportunity and membership are Monday and Wednesday evenings. Tuesday lunch and Thursday evenings are membership only, and Friday lunch is small business membership. You'll want to go to Alice Engage and watch the leadership show if you haven't done so already. So let's go out to Phyllis Martins for some motivational messages.
Thank you. Been doing a little spring yard work, so I think spring has sprung, and we are moving into our last full week of March. With that, do you think you have clarity as you wrap up the first quarter? Brendan Burchard's book, High Performance Habits, talks about finding clarity in life. He says it is about how you think about tomorrow and what you do to stay connected with what matters today. The essential habit of seeking clarity helps high performers keep engaged, growing, and fulfilled over the long haul. As we think about clarity, I think there are a couple quotes that we each can use. The first one is from Henry Stanley Haskins. He said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." The second one is from Joel Rendemar. "Life is not about having everything. It's about finding meaning in everything we have." So as we get ready to start the second quarter, let's think about the clarity we have in our lives. Back to you, Annette.
Thank you so much, Phyllis. Tonight, we heard from 2 Millionaire Club members, and we have an opportunity in a couple of weeks to hear from even more. Our 50th anniversary convention is coming up in just a few short weeks. Some of us are going there in person. If you can't, we also have an option where you can do it via Zoom. And what's even cooler about the Zoom is if your schedule is really messed up and you can't do it live on Zoom, you can watch the recording later. So there's no excuse not to show up and listen and get some more learning from these Millionaire Club members. So I'm going to stop the recording right now, and then we are going to watch a little video.